Hello and welcome back or welcome to the channel. I'm Loudguns, and with the 4.4 patch now entering wave 1 of PTU, I thought it was worth taking a quick look over at the new Nyx system. As the title of the video might suggest, I think it is worth keeping your expectations for Star Citizen's third star system in check. That isn't meant to be hugely negative, but one of my favourite quotes is that happiness equals expectations minus reality. Since this is a very short vid, we're going to forgo the usual intro today, but still feel free to hit pause and grab that cup of tea. As ever when talking PTU, it is worth paraphrasing the warning that scrolls across the screen in every build. Performance in this early build is, call it what it is, pretty terrible. And particularly since the population of the servers is understandably shoehorned into the system's only current POI, Levski, the old name Lagski from when the LZ stood in Stanton is still very much appropriate. I'm not going to do any video editing magic to create a different impression of what it is, so expect to see a fair bit of stuttering, character warping, and some other gems. But it's not all negative, I promise, because while the Nyx system is currently very light on places to go and things to see, the main LZ Levski is truly magnificent in my opinion. From the point you enter the space in this dense asteroid field, travelling through the giant borehole in the middle of the asteroid, and land in your carved out hangar, it is a reminder, for me at least, of the first time that you got into game and found yourself looking around in wonder. I'll be completely honest, I've never really cared that much for the Pyro system. I think the planets and moons are beautiful, and some of the new locations are really cool. I found the space stations that act as the main LZs of the system to be pretty poor compared to the cities in Stanton. The fact that each one lacks identity and the whole we throw our garbage everywhere aesthetic has always been a bit jarring for me. But Levski does the whole frontier vibe just much better. Sure, there are areas that are more run down than the gleaming shininess of Stanton, but there's also vibrancy in colour. And the views out of the giant windows at the Glacium belt, along with the open EVA traversal areas, are truly awesome. You'll also find the first example of external freight elevators, and I'm really looking forward to doing some testing with these, but this could maybe, just maybe, make the Reclaimer suck a little bit less. The space station is split over multiple decks, with an internal transit elevator system replacing the familiar shuttles and trams from Stanton cities. Bit embarrassing to admit, but the first time I turned up here I was looking for a button to press before realising they were just on a timer. I am hoping that throughout the PTU build though, they start giving us a little bit more time to get on and off these. Overall, this does make for an incredibly efficient space station city to traverse through, and with a wide range of services on offer, on paper at least, it makes a fantastic potential home location. The Grand Barter Bazaar is one of my favourite features, as it was from the original Levski in the old days. As well as a lot of cool set dressing shops, you've got a really good armour store Caudry's, and a gun store Conscientious Objects. For those who have been stressing about the lack of lootable new guns in the contested zones in this last patch, Levski's got you covered, with the Pulverizer LMG, Killshot Space AK, and even the Ripper SMG on sale here. The station also has a refinery deck, perfect given the mining opportunities in the Glacium Ring, and you'll also find a ship shop, Teachers, via the elevators to your hangar. This was always my favourite ship shop back when Levski was in game previously, partly due to the aesthetic and partly due to the fact it used to stock all the Drake ships. You've got a bunch of ships for sale here, as well as rental kiosks and components and weapons, just all in one convenient place. As ever, you do you, but having said how good Levski is on paper, I would have to go back to what I said in the beginning as my reason that, when 4.4 drops, I'll be a visitor rather than a resident here. The lag is especially terrible at this location, and I can see the patch dropping with a few technical issues, probably centred on this area. It's not a particularly long trip from Stanton or Pyro, so I'll personally be opting to base there and come across here for a look around. Outside of Levski itself though, there isn't a huge amount to do in Nyx. And I think they weren't joking when at SitCon they made one of their most frequent phrases that they're going to build this system around us. I think that the subtext of that should just have read, "We haven't got much done yet." Mission choice is pretty light, but where I do think the system is really going to shine in the first patch after release is in mining. You can take some of the new investigation missions, just to give yourself a QT marker and then leap about 30 GM or so away from the hotspot asteroid city. And with this done, you will find your frames returning, and you'll be lost in the middle of a beautiful asteroid field that dwarfs even the Aaron Halo in Stanton. I've heard that there are 3 new commodities out here, 1 tier C, 1 tier A, and 1 S tier, so in future videos we'll definitely be going on the hunt for these. And the one thing this belt really does make me crave though, is a larger mining ship like the RSI Arastra or a refinery ship to make an appearance soon, because it is simply perfect for remote mining operations. Outside of mining though, there are some new investigation missions to recover lost pilots, and seemingly some fairly standard mercenary combat, but without any planets or QT marked POIs, the locations are very thin, meaning that for deeper mission based gameplay, I think you're going to be better off in the 2 more established systems for now. Still, as time goes on and we see more work going on and some of the features that we saw at SitCon, I think this is going to shape up incredibly well, and it provides a nice counterbalance to what we've got in Pyro, while still being more lawless than the Stanton system. If you would like to stay tuned as we dive into more of what patch 4.4 has to offer, both in Nyx and in the existing systems, then please do consider hitting subscribe and liking the vid. But with all that said, thanks for watching this quick tour, and I look forward to seeing you next time.